that was built by the blacks, actually, that everything good is not shined about the black history, about the people of color. They don't talk about what they have done positive for this nation. They only talk about what has been done that is not positive. You can only actually think that the black people in this country contribute, when you count heads of the black people, you can think that they dominate the country, but it's a lie. I've actually come to realize that the blacks are very few in this country. So if they are very few, how do they actually contribute to the crime and the bad things of this country? I've gotten to know that the blacks have built this country, and I want to take you back to where it all started. We're going to Fort Monroe. Every black man, every black woman, every child that was got from Africa, this is where they started their journey. When they got to Fort Monroe, they were gotten off the ship and they were auctioned. Now, we always think about auctioning. We auction cars, we auction shoes, we auction property. Human beings were auctioned at Fort Monroe. And white people took chance of choosing. I want the short one, I want the tall one, I want that dark-skinned guy, I want the master. And they'll put money into it. And these guys came to work in the fields. And many, many years have gone back. Their effort, their energy has built this nation. We call it the first nation, United States of America, but this was built by the blacks. Let's go to Fort Monroe. I meet up with Dr. Reggie Freeman. He is not one of the people that were taken from Africa to come and work here, but his family members, his descendants, were taken from somewhere around Africa, and they landed right at this point to come and do slavery work in the United States of America. And little by little, years went by. He is a product of the people that came here. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing good.
Good. Now, we want you to tell us what really happened here at Fort Monroe.
Here at Fort Monroe, which is a military installation, they were here, and what they did was they brought slaves in off the ships. It would be an all-day process. Could you imagine ships coming in and docking about where that buoy is right there? And they bringing slaves across, an all-day process. They'd bring them in chains, line them up. They would clean them up just a little bit, just enough to put them on an auction block to sell them to people. This would take all day.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, to sell to people so they can take them to their property to work their lands, their fields, and do things for them. There's certain crops that are here. There's rice, there's cotton, especially cotton, and tobacco. So those are the type of work that they would be doing, working out in the fields from sunup to sundown.
So these guys, by the time they get them from Africa, they did not know what they're going to do or where they're going to be.
They had no idea.
And when they get here, they're put on auction here.
They're put on auction.
So other white folks would come and buy, and it depends on the kind of structure you have.
That's
and they'll
right.
buy you to go on.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes. They would separate families. They would keep some women with their children, but then they would separate these women and their children from them, because they would take some young girls and they'd take them off somewhere else. An older woman, they would take with her children sometimes and go take them as a family. But the men would totally be separated from the family.
How is it for you, this place? How significant is for you as a man of color in this land at this point?
It's uncomfortable sometimes, but there are advantages. One of the advantages is, and time, I have an education. I can use that education to better myself, also to educate my children to know what our past was and what our future could be.
You think such kind of slavery, is it still going on?
There's a mental slavery still going on. Not physical slavery, but a mental slavery. because of the things that have been told and retold over and over again, that you have to do better than the other person, that you have to do twice as much as the other person in order to achieve. And then the system that's set up, you know you have all the qualifications and the education for that, but you don't get the position. Someone else with a lesser qualifications gets the job. And a lot of times that person with lesser qualifications is sometimes not your same skin color.
All right. Now, lastly, I know that time has evolved, and the people that really actually came here as slaves, that generation is gone. Now we have a younger generation of people of color living in the United States of America.
Right.
Do they know the significance of this place?
They should. I'm not going to say they don't, but they have access to that information. And I believe that my generation, I should be teaching my children and my children's children, and if so, to live that long, my children's children's children, to keep the story going, to keep the information out there, to fill the libraries and the schoolhouses with the proper information about history.
Yes. History
sometimes is hurtful because the truth is being told, and when the truth is told, it hurts a lot of people. I'm willing to work. I am willing to work through that pain for me and my family. It's necessary to do that. If my family doesn't go through the pain, then they don't understand.
Yeah.
They don't get the chance to learn.
Yeah.
You must go through the pain.
Man, thank you so much. And I hope our generations, the younger ones, the youth, get to know this, because it gives them the drive to work harder, to be more influential, and don't let the white sit over them, because this was by force, but we can change this.
Absolutely.
Man, thank you so very much. I know for sure that you're having a great time right there and getting to understand the impact of where this whole started from. And I am so lucky, because along this great work that we are doing, the Black History Month, we are bringing you the truth. And when you know the truth, then you know where you need to drive to and get your brain to a better level. We're still doing that. And of course, enjoy the moment. Don't go away. This is Big Sam touring USA. Welcome to the Hampton University, one of the great Black-owned, privately owned universities right here in the United States of America. Quite a lot of disciplines come out of this wonderful university. But one of the things that I'm yet to see is they have got a facility that is dedicated to cure cancer. But also another thing is also a hit up to the Black history. There's an oak tree that has been preserved here for more than 100 years. And this oak tree, many of the blacks that were first to come here, if they defaulted on anything, they were hanged on this tree. We're about to see that just in a moment. This is Hampton University. Today, as we embark on a mission to cover the Black History Month, we make a stop at Hampton University. And one of the key sites that you cannot miss out at this university is this oak tree behind me. Now, it is said that this tree is more than 100 years old, and definitely lots of stories embark on this tree. Blacks that used to come to USA, they were forced to come, and of course it was due to slavery. They were forced by the white people to come and work in their fields, to work as chamber boys, to work as in their Monroes and stuff like that. But those blacks that used to come here or were brought here, those that used to misbehave in a particular way or the other, those that were not ready to follow what the white man used to tell them, they were hanged on this tree. And this is so symbolic when we are celebrating Black History Month in the United States of America. This tree is one of the few that have been preserved for years, to come here and remember what our forefathers, the blacks that were got from Africa, that came here, that what they went through in order to build this great country. This oak tree is so significant, and you look at it and reflect on what the blacks went through.
Uganda, the land of sunshine. Breathtaking, stunning sights, incredibly extensive large greenery. Variety of wild animals and bird species. A wide range of luxury holiday facilities. Diverse, rich culture. The home of beautiful, welcoming, hospitable people. Uganda, the Pearl of Africa.
Women are going to submit, right? So that's exactly what happened in slavery. They beat the man almost to the death because they still needed to use him in the fields and the crops, training horses and cleaning the horse, stools and stables and stuff, which was, why would you kill them if you can use them? So that's why they beat him almost to death. Now, if they had to kill him because they touched a white woman, or if they said something to a white woman out the way, that would also be something that they would hang them. I mean, there was various reasons why they wanted to hang a man or a woman, and even some children are known. And in Louisiana, they had children that they would feed to the alligators.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, and I'll have to look that up so I can show you guys that as well.
So there are not many trees like these around here, right?
Well, I guess it's because they probably were, but either maybe the storms took them out or people just didn't want, but they're not kept so people can actually talk about it. Hampton University is the one that wanted to keep this history, because if you don't know your history, you don't know where you're going. You don't know where you come from, what's going on, so you can keep an eye on what's going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Man, this is so historical, and if you got to build up on Black history, this is you got to know where our forefathers came from. That's to be in this land, and what happened to them, so that you can build a strong yourself in this season. Yeah.
And even are really not you all don't black people here.
Yes, sir.
And what you see is not always true. They'll tell you that we're swindlers, we're steal your property, you know, we're drug dealers and things like that, which is so not true. This university is privately owned and it's a black college. They even have like I was telling you guys, that they have a cancer institute that helps people who have cancer. Yes, you have to come out of pocket because federal government is not going to pay. But it's been known to people without having surgeries, as long as your cancer is small and not a large tumor, it will shrink it. So that's another thing you might want to look at while you're here. Yeah, so they're doing a lot here.
Man, thank you. This is good. This is good. This is